Organizing a building like this on its own is challenging. We're learning a new delivery method, new contract style. The owner and the consultants are all in it with us together.
BIM stands for Building Information Modeling. What it allows you to do is design the building in 3 dimensions.
The mechanical engineer is developing his ductwork in the same virtual space that we're building our walls.
Any architect and any contractor will tell you one of the hardest things to do is get the building out of the ground. And you often come up with surprises, things you didn't anticipate.
Being a project manager, I never like to say something's a success until it's actually done and all the problems and stuff are out of the way.
It is early 2016. Progress continues to be steady at the site of St. Joseph's High School in Red Deer.
It's mid-March. We're in the middle of an unseasonably warm spring, and that's allowed us to get a good jump on our concrete work. The envelope's nearly complete, so we'll have a roof on in the next couple of weeks, and the walls closed in the next week or so. The structure you see out there now is the completed shape. There's going to be no more structural steel going up. So we've got the gym and field house, which is all precast concrete, and we refer to the internal change room and weight room section of that as our phase 6. And the remainder of the school we've divided up into 5 phases. So it gives people a reference of where we're talking about.
As the project has evolved, there have been some changes to the integrated project delivery workflow. Opportunities to reorganize and streamline have emerged, and the Tuesday big room meetings have shifted in approach.
Tuesdays and Wednesdays, they were both full of meetings. They were pit groups, and you just couldn't be in enough places at once, and then people were trying to take advantage of everybody being on site. So people would have to get pulled out of meetings or miss stuff. So we've moved Tuesdays to more of triage days, as it were, with just spur of the moment stuff that comes up. Wednesdays are a little more structured in the traditional pit groups. So it just, the separation of having them here and then having the structured day has definitely made everybody more efficient.
A critical part of the administrative process in an IPD project that, in many ways, lays the groundwork for its success or failure is forecasting.
The way we run our forecast meetings is we have the entire partnership meet here in the big room on the second Wednesday of every month. And without doing that process, we wouldn't really have a gauge as to where we're at. And that could either go very poorly and we could overspend dramatically, or we could underspend dramatically, which would be equally as bad because then we would have missed out on the opportunity to add value back into the school.
We've been very fortunate from the beginning. Our numbers have progressively fallen for overall project costs from day one. When we started the project, we were over budget, and last week, we were significantly under budget. So it was about a $2.4 million swing in the last 14 months. We wanted to have LED lighting throughout the building, the internal portion of it, but we just couldn't afford to do the LED lighting in the gym and the field house at St. Joseph's. And so now that we're under budget, we're able to add that LED lighting back in, which not only increases lead opportunities, but it also reduces our energy consumption.
Integrated project delivery has had a far-reaching impact within Chandos' organization, but ultimately the approach has to be adopted by all of the various trade and design partners from job to job in order to gain traction. A step towards this goal is increasing the implementation of 3D modeling on site, ideally allowing everyone to interact directly with a digital model of the building and see potential problems or improvements.
We are relying quite heavily on taking information from our model that's essentially complete at this point and putting it in correctly on site.
We have 3D modeling here, 3D model in front of us that enable us to understand the different systems together and how they work and how they build together, just to make sure that everything is 100% correct and accurate before you move and build and start building at site.
We've actually made up these little shelving units with our computers inside them, and we're putting them in the job site so that guys can access the information and print off documents if they need to.
Some of the trade partners had already incorporated 3D modeling into their workflow before working within IPD at St. Joseph's, but there have still been new opportunities to increase the usefulness of the technology on site.
I haven't been in the industry as long as some people have, so I was still in it long enough to see the day when we were still drafting everything by hand. A couple guys came into the office, we bought our first 3D modeling software, and the older guys are kind of looking over their shoulder like, this hokey pokey stuff, it's never going to work. So I can definitely sympathize with some of the other trades that are going through maybe the first time they've ever seen some of this modeling.
We had some little hiccups with the design and us also learning how to use BIM, but now I feel really comfortable using it, and I think it's the only way that any job site should be done moving forward.
We had an instance here where we had to change some elevations of some things. And it was a matter of just changing the model. Everybody else made their adjustments, and kind of away they went. It was minutes and hours of time and not days of time trying to figure out.
The drywall trade partner on the project is modeling every stud so that the studs are fully coordinated with the other trade partner's work. Using the 3D model, the drywall trade delivers every stud pre-cut to the site, where they are pre-assembled in the school gymnasium with the other trades before being installed in their final location in the school. This approach, enabled by BIM, has dramatically increased productivity, safety, and quality on the job site for all of the trade partners.
We have now implemented having a draftsperson on staff to help do the BIM modeling for us. To anyone that's getting into this, they should be looking at having their own person do their modeling so that they can produce their own shop drawings and have more efficiency in their end. It's made us stand out to most of our competitors.
A key aspect of IPD are the projected milestones established at the outset of the process. These provide a schedule for when profits accumulated from savings in time and materials can be distributed among the trade and design partners. As St. Joseph's approaches its second milestone, complete close-in, it's time to register how effective the process has been so far.
Our first milestone was set at the issue of the building permit. So we didn't pay out on milestone 1 because we weren't under budget. And so milestone 2 is complete close-in, which is almost there. You know, the doors still need to be installed. So we'll be able to pay some of the profit percentages that the team has accumulated. We'll be able to pay that out to the trade partners and consultant partners. I just want to say thank you for being part of our vision. Red Deer Catholic went out on a bit of a limb to take on IPD contract. It's a little bit of a learning curve for some people, but thank you for taking this and being part of this new exciting adventure. I know we are being watched from not only across Alberta, but across the country on how successful we're going to be, and so far it's been great, so continue that great work. Our team's growing. We were relatively small around the table, but you know, we're getting upwards of 50 or plus guys on site.
Having this type of collaboration on this project, you get to know people a lot differently. I think there's been a lot higher of accountability on this particular project, which once again, you know a guy personally, I want to work with him on this and help him figure these things out, especially because I got profits tied into it as well, right?
Right now we're doing a process of what we've learned from this job for the next school for St. Gregory. So St. Gregory, when they start, they will have a tremendous advantage.
We're pioneering a lot of new paths on this project, and you know, anything that's worthwhile doing isn't going to be easy.